tonight with the American Israel Friendship League as our co-sponsor. It is only fitting that we have the 23rd Israel Film Festival featuring its executive director. And as the executive director of Blacks and Jews in Conversation, I defer and my chair tonight to our guest that you've just seen, Mayor Feinstein. Is that correct pronunciation?
Mayor Feinstein, absolutely.
And I was, as I have said repeatedly, because I'm nostalgic, a drummer in my youth, but our guest has been a true drummer. He was the rock drummer of the leading rock group in Israel. I cannot pretend to have such talents and skills, and he surrendered that. He gave that up. From the Berklee School of Music, he went on to found, almost a quarter century ago, the film festival that is the leading presenter of films from the state of Israel. And if you know anything about film and foreign film festivals, you know that this is one of the top film festivals of the world. And I'll read you the submissions. Of course, as a lawyer, I always look to requirements. I have to see requirements to know that everything is on the up and up. And the submissions must be primarily in Hebrew, produced in Israel, with, of course, the secured rights to exhibit the film produced within the last 18 months. And it cannot have been exhibited or shown at any other festival. And then you have a right to come and see the latest product of the greatest talent that you can imagine in the industry. It has attracted the greatest talent we have in America and in Europe and elsewhere, and the list of new films each year has grown. It started with 6 some 20-some odd years ago, and I'll ask our guests now to highlight some of the films that we have coming up.
So good evening, welcome. My name, as Shannon mentioned, is Mayor Feinstein. Some people call me also Poogie. That's my nickname when I was in the rock band in Israel. The festival is, maybe I'll give you a little bit background where and when it's going to take place. We're opening tomorrow, Wednesday, at the Ziegfeld Theater, where we're going to honor Danny DeVito and Michael Douglas will present him the Lifetime Visionary Award. We're going to honor Erwin Winkler, director-producer, with the Lifetime Achievement Award, and Mort Zuckerman, the publisher of Daily News, will present him the award. And we're going to honor also Ed Zwick, director-producer, award-winning director-producer, and Liv Schreiber will present him the award. Liv is playing in his upcoming movie called The Defiance with Daniel Craig. It's going to open here in the States in December 12th. Very powerful movie. Those are honorees. We'll have with us tomorrow at the Ziegfeld almost 20 Israeli filmmakers that right now are on the plane with El Al Israel Airlines, that is one of our sponsors, and they will land in tomorrow morning, and hope to have them here with us tomorrow. We're going to show about 11 feature films in this year's festival. Most of them are U.S. premieres. We're going to show Reshef Levi's most successful Israeli film of 2008, not just Israeli films, but most successful film in Israel with more than 300,000 admittance in Israel. This film, also the actor that was the winner of Best Actor of 2008 just about 3 weeks ago in the Israeli Film Academy, will be with us tomorrow too, and both will be in the screening tomorrow, the opening night, and also on Saturday we're showing at 9:45 Lost Island, his latest film. This is a U.S. premiere, and we probably right now almost sold out, so we already decided to add another midnight screening for Lost Island. It looks like all the screenings are going to be sold out before the festival will start on Thursday. This film is doing extremely well. All our advance tickets are extremely successful. I think this is the strongest ever advance ticket that we had. I don't know if the crisis here in America gives the opportunity to people to run away and see some Israeli films in New York. But it looks like people are interested in Israeli films today, and it's good. So I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of the films that we're going to show. As I said, Lost Island is our opening night film, and we're going to have some filmmakers, and I'll tell you who is coming. Ricky Shelach, the producer of Altalena, will be here. This is a film that is a TV drama based on a true story that happened in 1948 in Israel when Jews basically killed Jews for the first time, and it was a very big tragedy at that time. And I really recommend you to come and see one of the most painful moments of Israel before even the state was established. We're going to show also Asaf Bernstein, The Dead, and also Gila Almagor, First Lady of Israeli Cinema, will be with us tomorrow. We honored her last year in Los Angeles with the Israel Film Festival Lifetime Achievement Award. We're going to have Marco Carmel, the first-time director of Father Footsteps. It's a movie, Seret in Hebrew movie. It's a movie about the relationship of a son and his father of a family that is living Israel in the early 80s, before Yom Kippur, two friends, and it's more in French. So whoever is a French-speaking should come to see this film. This is the first time that we have a film that is mostly in French. And we can call it an Israeli film because it's an Israeli filmmaker and it's an Israeli production. We're going to show Lynn Ross' feature film called Little Traitor. Wonderful film, I really recommend. I'm not going to give you all the storytelling. I think you should go to our website, and I'll give you the website. It's www.israelfilmfestival.com. I repeat, www.israelfilmfestival.com. With all the synopsises of the film, you can buy tickets. Also for tomorrow, for the opening night, for $36 to see the presentation with Michael Douglas, Danny DeVito, Lee Schreiber, and all the other guests, and the Israeli filmmakers. And I will continue with more films. Avi Nesher's film, award-winning film, The Secret. A wonderful film. It was a major success in our festival in Los Angeles. I think it's expected to even open to the public here in New York and the United States in the near future. Igal Bernstein's film. Igal is not going to be here. Shuki Friedman, the producer and the actor Alona Buzbul, that is also playing in Bodies of Flies with DiCaprio right now, is going to be in his screening of Out of the Blue. So you should come and see Out of the Blue with Alona Buzbul and Shuki Friedman. The new film of Amos Kolek called Restless, and he will be here, Amos Kolek, and the producer Michael Tapuach. It's a relationship, again, with a father and son. The father is an Israeli that came to New York to live in New York, and his relation with his son that is living in Israel right now in the army. And pretty tough film, but I really recommend you to come and see this film too. We have, as I mentioned, Michael Moshonov will be here, the actor from Lost Island. Ran Tal, the director of Children of the Sun, award-winning film worldwide. It's a documentary about the kids in kibbutz, but it's a wonderful documentary. The best one, one of the best that I saw. It's the Oscar winner of Best Israeli Documentary for 2008. The director will be in the screening, and you should come and see this film with Homeland, or a TV drama also from the same period of time, 1948. We have a lot of films that are dealing with Israel in the early years, and if you're interested in Israel, you can see also documentaries, great documentaries, and also great feature films. We'll have have with us also the director of You Never Know, Boaz Shachat. It's a film about Rabbi Karlebach. The story of Rabbi Karlebach, who, if you heard about him.
Let me ask you that.
Sure.
It's on the night before your opening. They have a movie about Rabbi Karlebach at the Jewish Community Center.
That's the same movie.
It's the same movie. I was, of course, one of his first lawyers of Rabbi Karlebach, and a percussionist for Rabbi Karlebach. Of course, his music goes right to your soul. It's played in the Vatican. It's played for everywhere because Rabbi Karlebach played for everybody, sang for everybody. Pete Seeger, who was a friend of this show, who we did 3 shows with, a friend of my brother-in-law. He was a friend of Rabbi Karlebach. It was very hard to have an argument with Rabbi Karlebach. He did nothing but beautiful music. How did it come about so many years after his life and his death that finally the movie is made about Rabbi Karlebach?
This you have to ask the director, and he'll be here, and I think it's a great question to ask the director why he decided to make a movie about Rabbi Karlebach so many years. But sometimes it takes years, to bring up a story that was, like Altalena, 1948, why it took 50, 60 years to decide to make a movie about it.
Is that the first movie about the Altalena?
It was a documentary. This is the first kind of TV feature film, so it's like, with acting. So I think this is a little bit different than a documentary that brings the interviews with different people that were at that time. This is a storytelling. It's a script. Somebody wrote a script about it.
I remember listening to Prime Minister Begin every year without fail on the anniversary of the Altalena in a certain hotel in Tel Aviv near the site where the ship foundered. He would go through the account, and was it not possible to make it while Rabin and Dayan and the others were alive? Or what was the reason that it was so long in coming as well? Who do I ask that question of?
I think you should ask the producer, Ricky Shelach, that will be here also after the screening, and because I think he initiated this film. He's also director and is also the producer of the film. He's very, like what we call a creative producer. It's a very good question to ask him why you decided to make a movie about Altalena, a feature film. So, don't ask me this question, ask him. We have another film that I wanted to mention, Eli and Ben. It's again another movie about father and son relationship. The son is 12 years old, the father works in the city hall, and he does something wrong there, he takes some money, and he has to run away from the country because he doesn't want to go to jail. And the son is trying to keep him from doing that and to support his father. And it's very interesting to see this relation. A wonderful film. New, completely new, had a screening, the premiere 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, at the Haifa International Film Festival. And we have him, and the director is coming to his first film, Ori Ravid.
Chaim Topol is an old friend for many years. He has a theater in Haifa, from what I remember. Is that connected with the film festival at all?
He is connected right now with the festival. He's going to be here tomorrow at the opening night. I just find out. I think Chaim Topol, that's the rumors that I hear, is going to do a new Fiddler on the Roof here in America, a tour. So, but he will be tomorrow, and he's coming with Gila Almagor, so I'm very excited about it.
I'm more excited there's a new fiddler, because you know how many non-Jewish fiddlers have been fiddling away here over they even had Rosie O'Donnell and the gay and lesbian fiddler that was fiddling away over. There were too many fiddlers going on here, so welcome back, Topol.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're going to show also another film called the Galilee Eskimos, and it's about a group of elderlies that got left in a kibbutz that was sold to, an entrepreneur, and they're fighting of their, continue to stay in the kibbutz, and it's kind of a little bit more kind of a comedy, a black comedy, directed by Jonathan Paz. What else we have here? We have Out of the Blue, I already mentioned, Restless I mentioned, Secrets I mentioned. We have Stranger, directed by Erez Tadmor and Guy Nativ. It's a very interesting film. The way they decided to make this film, they took an Israeli actor and an Arab Israeli actress, and they throw them to a subway in Paris to start a conversation and a relationship, and they shot it without a script, and that's what you see in the movie. I mean, it's a very interesting movie, very unusual way to make a movie, but it came out pretty good, and it got a lot of. It was shown in the Sundance Film Festival this year to represent Israel.
Can I audition for something like that? No script, just put me in the subway, I ride it every day, and just bring me a mic and pay me for that. That's a good job.
Yeah, absolutely, you should do that. You should do it, but you need somebody to hire you for that, you know.
That's your job. I believe you hire me. I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, find me another actress that will join you, and then we'll hire you.
My wife is ready. We're both ready. We'll put us in the subway and see us sweat.
Okay. We have another film called Ben Gurion Remembers. This film, directed by Shimon Asera, unfortunately he's already passed away. This is a film from 1973. You see Ben Gurion there in his best. It was shot in 1972 before the Yom Kippur war, and you see all the biggest Israeli, leaders from Eric Sharon, that is probably 32 years old at that time. You see Peretz and Golda Meir, everybody. I think it's, if somebody wants to see the history of Israel through the eyes of Ben Gurion, that's the movie to come and see.
What is he remembering? I don't remember him forgetting anything.
He forgot a lot of things from that time, but he's not with us anymore. But he was pretty old when they shot the film. I think he was in his late 70s, beginning of 80s. No, I think late 70s. And he's talking about when he came to Israel in the beginning of the century, and he went to Petah Tikva, how he started his journey in Israel, in Palestine, and going through till 1972, the Seven-Day War, the 6-Day War, and the Sinai War, etc. So I think it's a very interesting documentary, but it's a feature film. It was made in 35 millimeter, and what's interesting about this film opened in the first day of Yom Kippur and closed the next day. So it was running for one day in the theaters because the Yom Kippur War started, and it was a disaster.
Ben Gurion was the pioneer of desert living in Israel, and now they have all these projects. I know from the American Israel Friendship League sponsors that the Negev is now being thought of as a whole new homeland possibility with water to be brought in, if I'm correct. And again, it traces back to Ben Gurion's vision as one of his very, very great visions.
Yeah, absolutely. He created the Ben Gurion University, and he had a vision. There's no question about it.
Now, let me ask you another question. I noticed throughout the festival goes from 10:29 to 11:13,
right?
And it's at one particular cinema, the Clearview Cinema on 62nd and Broadway in Manhattan. And throughout the 2 some odd weeks, you have some of these films repeating, but they have like a suffix where you say it's a homage to Israel's 60th anniversary, or there's a filmmaker panel to follow the presentation. And I'm wondering if there's a sponsorship like by our friends at B'nai Zion, if there's something different about that night.
And you're talking about the day, the special day for 60th anniversary?
Yes. Is it the same film with a special evening by a special organization, or is there an...
We have 2 evenings with special organization. The first one is on this coming Thursday with Dor Hadash. They're sponsoring a screening, The Debt, with Asaf Bernstein, the director, and Gila Almagor, the actress. And also we have a screening with Galilei Eskimo with Bnei Zion sponsoring on, I think, November 10th. The evening of the day for the 60th anniversary, I think it's the Tuesday, and we're going to show films from 1 o'clock till the evening, films that dealing with Israel's existence, documentaries, feature films, historical films, and films that dealing with
But it's open to the public, or are these
Oh,
closed?
sure. All of the films are open to the public, including the films. The deaths on Thursday is not really opening to the public because they bought all the tickets. So basically, it's sold out.
How did you manage to sell out everything? You talk about the economy going down. That's very good to sell out in advance an entire festival. You got to tell us your secrets here.
Now, first of all, we didn't sell the entire festival, so there are tickets, plenty of tickets. You should go or call our office in Los Angeles, 1-877-966-5566. I repeat the number, 1-877-966-5566, or go to www.israelfilmfestival.com, and you can buy tickets. If it's sold out in our internet, means that the first half of the theater is gone through the internet, and you should go directly to the theater as soon as possible to buy tickets in advance at Clearview, 62nd and Broadway. They're open from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night, and just buy tickets, as many as you can, before it's going to be sold out, and you'll try to go in. It's going to be hard. So last year we had 26 sold-out screenings. Hopefully we'll have this year the same.
And we're speaking with the executive director and founder of the Israel Film Festival in its 23rd year, Mayor Fenigstein, and I might add, this is in Los Angeles, Miami, and we're talking, however, about the schedule in New York City. It covers the entire country besides Israel, and this is for something that has started within the last quarter century, and by this individual primarily alone. And a rock drummer, I might add, a rock drummer has managed to bring the entire film industry of Israel out to America, which considered itself as kind of elitist in the film industry, and has managed to bring America's film industry to admire. Am I correct? That America has now become quite an admirer of what Israel's film produces.
When you say admire, you mean my name, Meyer?
Well, it's a partnership between the two admirations here, yes?
Thank you. Yeah, we showed in the last 22 years almost 800 films, documentaries, feature films, student shorts. I mentioned to the audience that we established this year through the support of the fund for the lottery fund, Israeli fund, called Mifal Pais, the lottery fund for the arts, a new initiative where we're going to give 6 Israeli students in 6 film schools in Israel a $2,500 contribution to for the final film of a student in the final year, to help him to do a better film before he's going to the industry. And we're going to bring also those students to Los Angeles and New York and showcase them to the American and to the audience. And hopefully this will be every year, where we're going to support 6 students. We're going to choose the films from about 20 films that we're going to get from those students in the next 4 months. And we will support them and then show them in the festivals in New York and in Los Angeles. And we think that this is a good way to support the starting of the students of Israeli filmmaking, and not just to showcase their final product in the United States.
Thank you very much. This concludes our second segment. And of course, it's a non-commercial program, and you can see that they're not-for-profit as well as us, and they're sponsoring scholarships, and we encourage such support for our youth as we do with our own programming. Thank you very much, and best success to the festival.
Thank you.